Hey, how you doing? It's your boy from Brooklyn, Shannon Ambrose here. Just saying, are you guys ready for some building and fixing? Today on Building and Fixing, I'm gonna teach you how to fasten something to a cinder block wall. Now this could be cinder block, it could be thick as a brick like my head, or it could be concrete. It's gonna be simple and it's gonna be easy. This is my actual studio where I do all my filming. This is my space. So I need a place to put the things that I really like to look at. So I have this great little display crate that I made right here, scrap wood. But I have these cool little things around my studio that I love to have displayed. This is a Duncan yo-yo, right? So this Duncan yo-yo I had given to my father. So it means a lot to me. I had a yo-yo when I was younger, and my father was like, oh yeah, you think you know how to do that? And I was like, oh yeah, right, like you know how. And he put this thing on, and when I tell you, he had this thing flying around the room, walking the dog, doing all these tricks, the pyramid, the whole, and I was just absolutely blown away that my father had this memory to share with me, but that he was sharing his childhood too. So like, it was a great experience for me, and that's why I fell in love with the Duncan yo-yo. So I want to put this on display in here. Right? And I'm gonna do a cool little display. I'll show you the after picture, you know. And I have wiffle ball, my childhood. I just have this love for wiffle ball, and my little leprechaun because it's luck. You understand? Because it's luck. This is given to me by another family member, and I love it. What I want to do is get this onto this cinder block wall. The first thing I want to do with this is decide exactly where I want it to go. And the items that I'm going to be putting in here, they're going to be smaller items. I want to make sure I put this at a height where you can see it clearly. And I'm just going to pick the spot, right? Don't look for like crazy measurements online, where to hang things. Put it where you want it. In between the joints here on the cinder block, there's mortar. In these mortar joints is really where you want to put your fasteners. You can put it anywhere, but inside the mortar is a little bit better when you're working with this type of application to apply things on. I want it about here, so I know. Again, I'm going to take out my level. I'm going to put it on top. I'm going to make this thing level. Again, I'm going to make a mark here. I'm going to make a mark here. But I'm also going to make a mark over here where the mortar joint is, on the inside of the box here. So I know where to drill the hole. All right, so now I'm back in the shop. I need to get this on the wall. There are a lot of fasteners that you can use to do these things. If you can do it with a cement or a concrete screw, this is what I prefer everybody use. These are mostly known as Tapcons. They're usually blue. They have a 5/16 nut driver head that you need to use for this type of screw. Now this type of screw, and the reason why it works is because there's two different kinds of threads on here, okay? There's a rough thread and then there's a fine thread that goes in between the rough threads, right? So when you're screwing it into the substrate, which is either concrete, block or brick, and you're screwing it in there, it grabs, okay? This is the only screw of its kind. Most of the time when you see things for concrete and cement, it'll come a metal anchor or a metal jacket, okay? And what you'll do is you'll drill a hole into the concrete or the block or the brick or what have you, and then you set this anchor in with a hammer, bang, 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 and then you use the screw to drive it in, and the anchor opens up inside the wall and creates pressure against the concrete. And what happens a lot of times is if the screw doesn't go in straight and the hole isn't drilled deep enough and it's not, but there's too many variables, and this will start to spin inside the concrete, right? And then it's useless. It does absolutely nothing. And that's why I prefer using the concrete screw. You're going to need a masonry drill bit. Now, a masonry drill bit is different than a regular drill bit. Regular drill bit for metal or wood has a very sharp point Now a masonry drill bit is very different. It has more like a diamond head point. I gotta drill some holes in here first, so I'm gonna need a regular drill bit. You have to drill a hole inside here a little bit wider than the diameter of the screw you're gonna use, because the last thing you wanna do is have the screw bind up on the wood here. I always keep a lot of scrap wood underneath the bench for this simple reason, is that I have to drill holes through here. So in order to not have the holes on the other side of this be all, you know, torn out, you put it on another piece of wood, and then this way you can drill the holes. I need 5/16 drill bit. I want the hole wide enough so that the screw doesn't bind, but I also don't want it too wide that the head of the screw goes through the hole. Chuck it into my drill. So I'm only going to use a screw that's about 1.25 inches. There's not a lot of weight going in here, so it doesn't need a really long screw to make sure it holds the weight. Let me go in here and grab these things. When I have to put this on the wall, I don't want the hole drilled so far close to the top that I can't get my drill in there or the driver when I put the screw in. So I want to go down enough so that this will fit inside here comfortably. And I'm only drilling 2 holes. That's it. See how simple? Simple, simple. And then I'm going to drill the other side. Boom, same thing. And make sure. Boom. That's it. See? And what I was talking about, I got a little tear out there. The only good thing is that it's on the back. You're not going to see it. And especially when you're using power tools, make sure you get the safety, personal protective equipment on. These I use as my goggles. I know I can see with them, but I use them as my goggles. Especially if you're using these with metal, right? If you use them with metal, metal shards fly everywhere. And the last thing you want to do is get one on the eye. I got one. It hurts. You got to go to the doctor. They got to do all kinds of weird things, put your head in a vice. It's horrible. And they're sticking things in your eyes and they're dropping things in there. It's crazy. So eye protection is the one thing. That, and make sure you have a dust mask on if you're using things with a lot of dust around or fumes or what have you, or chemicals. Make sure you have those things. Very, very important. Next thing I want to do is I got to determine, right? So this is going to be the top. This will be the bottom. So I want to make sure I have this in place. So this is what I have to do. I know the wiffle ball is going in here. So that's going to stay like that. And I know I want this to be hanging from the string. So what I'll do with the yo-yo is I'll loop this and then flip it around and pull it taut. And it should stay. See? I have these little eye hooks. I'm just going to hold it with one pair of pliers. I'm going to hold this because the eye hook is closed. I want to open it so I can hang the loop on. I'll hold it with one pair of pliers and then I just opened it up just a little bit with on the other side so I could loop the yo-yo string through this. If I put this combination square right on the corner over here and I mark from corner to corner with the pencil, that corner, and then I mark this corner. That is the center. How cool is that? And then I'm going to put this in the background behind the yo-yo. And you get the picture, right? You get the idea. You see what we're doing here? That's going to look pretty cool. So the yo-yo sign is back there. The yo-yo is in. A little nostalgic memorabilia. Now we just have to get this on the wall. Now this drill in particular is made to drill into concrete or cinder block or brick. This has a hammer drill feature on it. Not these hammers, not this hammer, but this hammer. This is a hammer drill. Now the hammer drill is great because as it's driving and spinning the drill bit, it's doing exactly that. It's hammering. So as it's spinning, it's hitting the concrete at the same time. It bores the hole much faster, and this way you don't get all twisted and bound up. I have the marks here and here. And I'm gonna start drilling the holes. You need the hammer drill, okay? And then you need your impact driver. Now, don't get me wrong, you don't have to have both of these. You're gonna need a 5/16 hex head driving bit, okay? This drives the concrete fastener. Okay, and it's magnetic. You want that. This thing be falling all over the place. You should be on the floor fumbling around trying to find it. So get the magnetic one. It's a hex head driver, okay? And it's a 5/16 for 1/4 inch screw. So remember, you want to drill the hole for the screw a little bit deeper or a little bit longer than with the length of the screw is. Because once this screw stops into that concrete, if it doesn't seat and tighten up, it'll just spin, and then you just got a hole there, and then it does nothing. You're gonna take your screw and the drill bit, and you're gonna put them together, and you're gonna see the length of that screw, okay? Over here. You're gonna see the length of the screw with the drill bit. Take a piece of tape, or if you have a drill bit stop, I have them inside, but this is just quicker and faster. And you're going to mark with a piece of tape so you know when to stop the drill bit, okay? So I always like to go a little bit more. I want to make sure that the screw sets in there nice. Tighten that down. I'm going to set this to the hammer function. I'm going to keep this on 1. I don't want this drill bit spinning 1,000,000 miles an hour, because then it's just going to bore a hole wider than what I need. In, we get the hole, we start slow. And you can hear it already, right? Sometimes the dust builds up in there, and it doesn't allow the drill bit to go any further. So sometimes you got to take the drill bit out and then reset. The only thing we have left to do, of course, is put in these tap cons. We're matching up the hole with the screw, and I'm only going to set this in just till it grabs. That's it. That bad boy is done. We're finished. So inside there, boom. Remember the reason I did this? How cool is that? A little nostalgia here. Remember we tied the knot to hold it at the length we wanted, but this will go inside here. And now, all I need is a little lucky leprechaun right here. And there you have it, folks. Come on now. Easy application. Not that hard to put things onto concrete, cinder block, or brick walls. Just another helpful tip from your boy from Brooklyn, Shannon Ambrosio. You see how easy that was? Now, if you're applying anything to brick, block, or concrete, those are the steps that you need to take. And the materials I showed you are the ones you need to use. If you like my content, make sure you subscribe to my channel, okay? Ring that bell so you get notified next time I put a video up. Don't forget to throw the thumbs up if you liked it. And share this with anybody who may find this helpful, useful, or totally hilarious, okay? Any questions, any comments, just leave them right down below, okay? I check them, all right? Now, if you follow me on social media, I'm on Instagram, I'm on Facebook, I'm on the Twitter thing, all right? I TikTok when it calls for it, okay? But make sure you are subscribed to my channel. Now, I gotta go. It takes one of these, 2 of these, a little bit of this, and some ingenuity, and I'm telling you, you could be building and fixing just like your boy, Shannon Ambrosio. Now, I gotta go. I got some tools to put away. I got some other projects to work on. I got some plans, some angles, things to get on. I gotta go.